10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi, welcome guys to World Cricket Fans for the final of the T20 Australia versus New Zealand, and we'll go straight to Ritz on live at the ground. Ritz, you are live at the ground. What is the atmosphere in Dubai?
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's good. It's good. It's still empty yet. People are still coming in. You wouldn't probably have a full house, but there's a pretty decent crowd outside the ground when I was walking in, people parking and all that stuff. So hopefully over the next half an hour or so it should fill up. Obviously it's a working day here as well, so a lot of people obviously finish from work and then they get in. Unlike mad ones like me who take the day off just to get to the finals. So, but it's looking good. I mean, I'll just quickly show you guys how the entire place is.
Wow.
Quite a few. Australia just won the toss. They've elected to field. So, as was expected. So that should be good. And yeah, it promises to be a good game, really. I mean, very well poised.
It's one
They've
of the
taken out the two best teams on the competition.
In the final, you'll be hearing the noise from to Lahore and obviously Delhi on. That would be the big factor today. So the atmosphere will be neutral fans like yourself, Ritz, who will be in the ground. And who are you? Who are you following today? Who is there? Is it Australia or is it New Zealand?
It's going to be. There are Indian supporters who come in wearing the Indian jersey, the Pakistan supporters the Pakistan jerseys, and so on, right? But it's quite a carnival sort of a feel. Nobody's too tensed about the game. Everybody's coming with a free spirit. They're going to watch two neutral teams play, two bloody good teams as well. And then may the best one win. Just because Australia has won the toss and elected to field does not necessarily win the cup against this sort of a team. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy.
That's cool. If you get yourself on mute now, Ritz, and do what you need to do, that would be brilliant. So stay on. Perfect. Yeah. So there we have it. We have one of our members, the umpire's call on social media. Definitely follow Ritz. Ritz is at all the finals. This is an amazing guy, you know, from Calcutta, originally gone to Dubai, and he'll hopefully be in England with me when India play England at Edgbaston. So looking forward to having Ritz live from Edgbaston when India come for the test match and also the T20 game. So Ritz, thank you so much for taking the time out and being there. Welcome, guys. It seems like a year ago since we were last together, and obviously it's finals day. Obviously we wanted India to be in the final or Pakistan to be in the final, but it's the Southern Hemisphere final, Australia versus New Zealand, and obviously we got Australia's biggest fan, from Hyderabad, and now living in the States. Varun, you were happy with the toss?
How could I not be? I mean, winning the toss. Yeah, first of all, Virat and Kane are almost the same. They're unlucky at winning tosses, so I think it was pretty obvious that which was gonna win it. But again, if you see Kane in the knockout stages, if you see 2019 CWC, WTC finals, I think he won 2 of the tosses there. Now he finally lost it, so I'm so happy for that. And you know, if batting first, I can also see my favorite player Warner batting well in the second inning. So it's going to be one heck of a game for Australia. Anyway, you cannot rule out New Zealand. I think the pitch is also getting better and better, you know, by each game going on in Dubai. So you can expect a score around 170, just like what Pakistan did the last game.
Yeah, a 170 score on this game will be on fire, because I think 170 is an ideal score for both teams to get into the game, and it's an even Steven game. Anything under 170, you got to fancy the second team. I'll just go back to you, Ritz. One thing, what do you think the pitch will have anything to do with this winning the toss? Do you think that will have anything to do with the outcome of this game? If you can hear me.
Sorry, were you speaking to me? I couldn't hear a word.
Do you think the toss is,
well, I was actually speaking to one of the journalists here prior to coming here, and they're using the right at the center. actually one of the best rolled pitches. So what tends to happen is because there's hardly any view anymore, it's quite nice and breezy, it's not humid. Chances are the wicket's going to hold true for both sets, and there may not be a lot of swing. Now, the likes of Mr. Stark, of course, has the ability to do wonders with the ball that very few bowlers can on his day. So also somebody like Bolt on his day back from the New Zealand team as well. But I don't think it's going to be so much a factor in terms of the first half the overs for either side. It is even whichever way it goes. The pitch looks even from here, and they were throwing a close up earlier. It looks very, very well rolled, hardly any grass on it. So it looks like a really true good batting pitch which you would expect for a final where nothing runs are scored and so on, right? Now, one quick thing before I go off air, guys, is I personally feel that there are three players we need to look out for for this final. Two from Australia, one from New Zealand. Kane Williamson from New Zealand and Steve Smith and Aaron Finch from Australia. These three are world-class batsmen, as we know, but they've had a fairly average World Cup so far, right? So chances are, come the big game, these are big game players, they'll put their hands up and try and make a difference. And if two out of these three get going, it's going to be a whole different ball. And it's going to be some really good fireworks. I'm on a mid-wicket, long off from a left-hander point of view. David Warner's batting on one end. So I'm hoping he cracks a few onto this side. It wouldn't be a bad thing.
Wow. And that's a very important point there. I'll let you go now.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Which is very good. It's been rolled, and Rich thinks that obviously the due factor will be important today to get the 170 score on the board in the final. Scoreboard pressure in the final is always important. Ramit, to you. Obviously, Trent Bolt and your Mumbai Indian affiliations are there. Will you be following New Zealand or will you be going for Australia? And no jinxing, please, because you don't really care, do you?
Yeah. There would be no jinxing today, but yeah, I'm backing Australia for today. Definitely. I even as Varun is a big fan of Warner, even I love Warner as an opener, and I have few favorites in the Australian team than in the New Zealand team. So definitely, I'll back Australia today. Like we know that Australia, you can't write Australia in the knockout stages. Like they were one of the underdogs in the tournament. New Zealand was too. But still, after seeing the Bangladesh series, we didn't think that Australia is that a good T20 team. And the David Warner has lost his form in the IPL too. So considering him as an opener, it was a shock to everyone while David Warner was not in form. But still, the backing they gave to him, and also we haven't seen a Maxwell show also in this World Cup, but still he has been back. So this Australian team, whatever resources they have, they might not have the stars who are in their prime. Like David Warner is definitely a T20, very good T20 batsman. Maxwell is too. They have quality bowlers, but they might not be in their prime. But still, in a knockout stage, we saw how Australia performs, even if they don't have best of the resources. So definitely Australia, how they have progressed in this World Cup, without being a favorite, I feel I am backing them, and also I have few favorites from them. So definitely Australia.
So Australia for Romit, and Jaydeep, to yourself. Who are you backing? Are you backing up Punjabi brother Ish Sodhi, or do you think it is Australia's game? Because obviously, I don't think any RR players are in there, and Ish Sodhi is the one of the management part of the management of RR. So, are you following Ish, or will you be going for Australia to make it a clean sweep on the panel?
Yeah, I think as soon as India were out of the World Cup, there was no team for me to support. But I think the way this World Cup has gone so far, I feel win the match has happened over this World Cup. So it might be possible that we can see Australia winning this game today as well, because they are fielding first, and it gives them some realistic chance to win this game, because chasing while team is chasing, pitch becomes a lot easier. What we can say, pitch opens up for the batsmen, so it becomes easier for the teams while chasing, as we have seen this T20 World Cup. As I think for support matter, I think Australia are a bit ahead of New Zealand because we have seen or some of Australian players, they are in very good touch. They're in very good form. Take David Warner as example. He has been, we can say, the man who has the man who has taken Australia in this World Cup ahead. So David Warner has been in good form. We can say Steve Smith has played a good role of anchor in this World Cup. Also, Aaron Finch showed some desperate innings when Australia were in needful. So yes, overall, I think balance of the team is very good. In the bowling department, Josh Hazelwood, Patrick Cummins, and of course Yorker King, Mitchell Stark are doing well. And we cannot rule out Adam Zampa, who has a really good spin season in this World Cup. So overall, a good-looking side, Australia, and I think Australia can do this.
Yeah, it's very interesting with the two setup of the teams, and I'm going to first go to Romit on captaincy. And my views on Aaron Finch is useless, absolutely useless as a player, as a captain. He really underwhelms me as a skipper and a leader. Whereas on the other hand, Kane Williamson is my leader idol. That he's just so calm, so cool, so collective, plays the situations. Romit, out of the two, if you were having a franchise, which one would you have? Do you agree with me, or do you see any hope for Aaron Finch?
Paji, coming to this, like we can take the example of Morgan also. He has not been his best of form, but still he had done pretty well in this World Cup. And if Australia has qualified till the final, and if they to win today, like actually, then obviously there won't be any debate about who will be the better captain or not, because Kane Williamson might be the better captain on field and by his tactics, but it matters who wins the trophy and who lifts the trophy. So definitely, like that is what matters. Like what I believe, whoever has been successful as a captain must have an ICC trophy in his bag or any major tournament in his bag. So that's why that's what a successful captain can actually. The winning ratio and all is just all. I feel that doesn't matter at all. Like, whatever the winning ratio is, ultimately the trophy actually decorates you as a captain. So definitely,
And we
whoever
know why
wins,
you are
yeah.
saying that. We know what's behind undercurrent of that. They had ICC trophies and the captain's something, and that will go back to India and obviously the Indian captain. We know, Rohit, that was a good analysis. We know where you're coming from on that one. So, Barak, to you, obviously Warner walked in the last game when he wasn't out. Do you see the same thing happening in this game, or do you see him getting a good 50, 60 runs? Because that, obviously, batting second will put Australia in a strong position.
It depends on how much New Zealand score right now. So if they score around 140, 150, I don't think Warner won't, just go hit it and then, be knocked out and then just walk away. I think he just went off because of Pakistan's appeal. It was so confident and so loud that I think he fell under pressure and then, just walked away. But anyway, it was not also a crime to take a review. They had 2 reviews, but anyway, Australia still won. I'm happy with that. But again, David Warner, he might perform today. As I said, it all depends on the score and also their batting second, which also eases the pitch even more for the Australian batsmen. So you can expect a big and fire up innings from Warner again today.
JD, to yourself, look at the bowling attacks, and obviously the big one is the battle of the left-handies in obviously Bolt and Stark. And again, who do you think out of those two over the tournament has been the better bowler?
It's really difficult to choose among those two because Stark has been good. Trent Bolt has been good too. So I think Trent Bolt has been somewhat better than Mitchell Stark because Trent Bolt has some swing in the power plays. He bowls in the right areas. Also had some wickets in the power play, which is very important to break the opening partnership, the opening innings, which we can call the basic structure of the opponent team. So Trent Bolt has succeeded in doing that sort of thing. So I think Trent Bolt is a bit ahead of Mitchell Stark due to his lines and lengths, and of course the way he has taken wickets in power plays in this World Cup so far. So I think it's Trent Bolt.
Yeah, and out of the two, I definitely think Trent Bolt's been the better bowler. He seems to have a lot more control. Whereas Mitchell Stark seems to be very expensive. He's an expensive luxury, as a lot of the IPL teams know. He'll put his name in the hat and then he'll just withdraw without playing any games. For me, go to Romit on this one. I've been very impressed with Mitchell. Mitchell for New Zealand, he's come out the blue somehow, and he seems to always, be there at the business end for New Zealand. How important is that battle? And do you think the New Zealand openers will score more runs than the hopeless Aaron Finch, on obviously with the magical Warner? So, do you think out of the two opening pairs, which one is the most competitive overall consistency? And if you were the owner of the IPL franchise, which pair would you go for?
Paji, to mention about Mitchell first, like it is just like a Rohit Sharma thing. Like in 2013, he got to open and he actually performed well. So New Zealand, Mitchell has clicked for New Zealand this time. So if I choose to any pair between the two, obviously it has to be Guptill. In this World Cup, it has to be Guptill and Mitchell, because we have seen in Australia, Finch hasn't performed yet. It has been wholly dependent on Warner. So definitely Guptill and Mitchell. But if for my franchisee, like my favorite franchise is Mumbai, if I have to pick any opener, it has to be David Warner. But still, the pair, if I have to choose in this World Cup, it is Mitchell and Guptill, because they have got more success than the other two.
Yes, and that's true. And obviously, David Warner will be in the auction, and he may end up at Mumbai Indians. Varun, obviously, talking to your second best, Kane Mama. Kane Mama hasn't performed as we thought he might do, but he always seems to perform on the big occasions as well. And obviously, he wins a lot of games with the captaincy choices. And I think the captaincy debate it's a no-brainer, because Finch is hopeless. He's hopeless as a leader. I just do not rate that guy. So, Kane Williamson, what impact will he have in this game?
So first of all, talking about his batting, I think it's just like MS Dhoni. He doesn't need to bat. It's just his captaincy skills matters. That's how CSK won in 2021, right? So I think it's just like the Kane Williamson plays that kind of role. It doesn't matter if he bats or not. They have the batting depth to go and bat on forever, to be honest. But again, Kane Williamson is a big match player. We saw it in the WTC finals, the CWC 2019 finals, and in the IPL. So he will definitely rise up to the occasion. But again, the Australian bowlers, I think they're gonna make a big impact, especially Mitchell Stark. I don't know why, but I'm keeping my bets and money on him. I think he's gonna be one impactful bowler for Australia this time. I think it's just the way he nails the Yorkers. First of all, I think that's gonna be one main point of New Zealand. How to get them out. Again, I don't think Kane Williamson will perform today as well. He's not been in that kind of form. Even if he is a big match player, he did show some kind of a hope, and he did score some runs in the other end. But again, he did not do that this World Cup, so I don't see him playing that well today as well.
Yes, and as I say, I think that's the thing. It's been Conway, it's been Mitchell, it's been Guptill. These batsmen have had all performed, so I don't think Kane's had to perform, but he might have to perform today. I'm just going to go on to the spin bowling option, because I think that's very important in this game. So we have Zampa and obviously Maxwell, and we also then have obviously on the other side Mitchell Santner, and the star spinner out of all four is definitely Ish Sodhi. So Ish Sodhi has definitely been the major bowler for New Zealand. Do you see Ish Sodhi performing today, Jaydeep? And then we'll get Ritz on after. 1 second.
Yes. I certainly think Ish Sodhi and Mitchell Santner are way too ahead. Even I would say no match for the spin duo of Adam Zampa and Glenn Maxwell. As the higher number of wickets have been taken by this duo, Ish Sodhi and Mitchell Santner, and not only just in terms of wicket, the line and length they bowl, and obviously the reputation they have. Even before they come to bowling, the batsmen are already having all sorts of calculations in mind how to get these over done, how to get these 8-over quota done of these two bowlers. So I think India have also been troubled by these two, Mitchell Santner and Ish Sodhi. Ish Sodhi had some wickets as well. Mitchell Santner, of course, the economical bowling thing. So in spin perspective, I think Ish Sodhi and Mitchell Santner are going to perform better than Glenn Maxwell and Adam Zampa. They are going to perform, Adam Zampa and Glenn Maxwell, but I think Mitchell Santner and Ish Sodhi will have upper edge.
And Rich is playing the national anthem of Australia. They can hear the national anthem. And we all hope
I thought I was
to
the first to watch the national anthem live.
And Australia. And it's like, I say this final is like India versus Pakistan because India has been the big brother.
I thought I'll just get you guys to watch the national anthem live.
And if this was Indian and Pakistan, you would have been hearing the two national anthems right around the world, which is such a shame because we want a big thing.
Paji, just one thing to mention about, like as Jaideep mentioned about Santner, I don't think so Santner will be bowling too much today against Warner if Warner stays till the last. So I think Santner won't be bowling too much today.
Very good point there, Robert. Bowling the bowling players to the side because of the length of the wicket and left to right arm will be aggressive. So when Santner comes into the attack, and you can see that the ground is really up as well. So hopefully the atmosphere will be good. We started getting used to the atmosphere back to ground following what happened with the pandemic. There we are. We're having the New Zealand national anthem playing there. Amazing. I actually feel like I'm there now. Wow. Looks amazing, looks amazing, looks amazing. Thank you so much, Rich.
I thought I have to get you guys to come in online and watch this.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for doing that. You enjoy the match and the game, and you're going for, who's your prediction? He's going to go, we'll say he's going to go for Australia as well. So,
I think Australia have the edge. Australia have the edge, but I would love New Zealand to take it.
He wants New Zealand to win. He wants New Zealand to win. Perfect. Varun, man of the match today.
Spoiler. He was the party spoiler.
Party spoiler. Party spoiler. So yeah, who's going for your man of the match today?
Since Australia's batting second, I'm rooting for my favorite David Warner.
Robert, man of the match for you?
I'll place my bet on Mitchell Stark because we know how he steps up on a final. And we also saw this in the 2015 World Cup final as well, how he troubled the New Zealand batters. So definitely Mitchell Stark for today.
Jaideep?
I think openers might choke for Australia. So I'll place my bet on the finishers. I'll go for Glenn Maxwell.
And I will go for Stoinis. Yeah, I will go for Stoinis. I think Stoinis might have a real impact in this game because he looked like he was coming back to form in the last game as well. So Stoinis for me. Top wicket taker, Varun?
I think it's gonna be Ish Sodhi.
Ish Sodhi, that'll be interesting. Come on, Sodhi. We want Sodhi to be the Punjabi representative for us. Robert, Mitchell Stark, you going for?
Yeah, Mitchell Stark. Or it's Mitchell Stark or it will be Zampa?
Zampa, wow, that's a good one. And for you, Jaideep?
I think it's going to be Zampa.
Cool, Zampa. So Zampa, I'll go for Ish Sodhi for New Zealand, and I'll go for Hazelwood. I think Hazelwood had an excellent IPL, so Hazelwood might come to the party for me. And the last round, Varun, man of the match.
As I said before, David Warner. That's it.
David Warner, man of the match for you. Robert, power play score for New Zealand.
41 for 1.
41 for 1. And JD, power play score for Australia.
I think 38 for 2.
38 for 2. That means that the openers won't perform, and I'll go for 45 for 1. I'll go 45 for 1. And Varun, we know you've gone for Australia. Romit, you've gone for Australia. Jaydeep has gone for Australia, and I have to go for Australia. But I hope New Zealand, it'll be a good match. And Romit, anything for you to hand over? Want to hand over before we finish?
Yeah, like just to mention one stat, which Varun will be happy. It is Warner is just 67 away from being the highest run scorer in the World Cup. Babar Azam has 303. Warner has 236. So if he hits a 67 today, he'll not only lift the trophy but also be the highest run scorer. So definitely a good day for Varun and all the Warner and Australia fans too. So I'm rooting for Warner today. Let him have the 67 runs. So let's go Warner and Australia.
That's a brilliant stat where we can end the World Cricket Fans Panel. So 67 before winning the gold, and we'll call it the gold cap because it will be the gold cap. If you get 67 runs today in the final, he'll win. He'll be the high scorer and he'll win the trophy. So 67 for the gold cap for Warner. I don't think he'll do it. I think Babar Azam for me has been probably the premier batsman. The man that I most likely love to watch was Rizwan. I love that guy's energy and passion. So Rizwan was the player for me that really inspired me in this World Cup. And we will see what happens in the final, guys. Thank you for all the time, all the support on all the social media channels. I know the World Cricket Fans family is growing. We're doing some great numbers on all the on all the Instagram and also the Facebook, and it's really been a pleasure to host some of the shows here. You too can become part of the family. Just send us a like, a follow, or a shout out, and then we will get your story published on our channels. And we will also be, inviting you to come on further shows. We will hopefully cover India's and New Zealand, which will be from India, which will be great to see a crowd in India. And we're all looking forward to seeing the new regime of Rohit Sharma, which is Romit is so happy to see Rohit as captain and Virat resting. And obviously, I am happy to see, Ravi Shastri not sipping the Nimbu Pani anymore on official duty. He can do that in his home time now. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the final. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. And go Advanced Australia Fair. We'll finish with Advanced Australia Fair. And may the Aussies win. All right. Take care. Goodbye. Good night. God bless.